take a look at our exploratory data analysis workflows and their results. The goal of exploratory data analysis is to gain a better understanding of our data before we start our modeling work. This can also help us determine what our next steps will be when it comes to feature engineering and data preparation. In this workflow, we first start off with doing some basic data cleaning steps, dropping the rows with null values, dropping duplicate rows, and casting our data to the correct types. After that, we split up our data into multiple streams to then work on it separately to build visualizations. To build each of these visualizations, we follow approximately the same process. We are grouping the data if necessary, removing the columns that are not needed, renaming the columns to make our visualizations more understandable, and then using graphing nodes or other visualization nodes to then produce the results. Now let's take a look at some of the results of our workflow. Here we can see in the execution page some of the graphs that we have created. The first one here is the number of transactions split up by month. As we can see, December 2010 was an extremely popular month for our packaged goods industry. This holds true for the industry as a whole, but it is always important to know whether this applies to your data too. Here we have another graph of the number of the customer density by the transaction count. We can see that a majority of our customers only make 1 or 2 purchases. This is important to note because we want to increase this number in the future. The higher the number of transactions per customer or customer density can then improve the customer lifetime value which we want to calculate. In this graph, we have the average days between each purchase. This is an important metric because it not only matters how many transactions a customer makes, but how often they make a transaction for customer lifetime value. We can see that it takes approximately 2 months for most customers to come back to our products and to make another purchase, while we have another cohort of customers around the 1-month mark. Our goal with the customer lifetime value will be to reduce this value, to move customers towards making purchases more frequently. We want to move this cohort of customers here from the 2-month mark down closer to the 1-month mark. In this graph, we have the customer density and the basket value range. This is the average value split up into different cohorts of each customer's basket as they check out. We can see that most customers, or the most customers, their basket has a value of less than $50, while another cohort of customers makes purchases between $100 and $150. As we said earlier, improving customer lifetime value means that we need to improve on various metrics throughout the customer's range. In this case, we are focusing on the purchase size of each customer, not simply the number of transactions that they have made. In this graph, we have the invoice count split up by country. We can see that our retailer operates mostly within the United Kingdom. Now, depending on our strategy, we'll either want to focus on the United Kingdom in the future or to expand further into other regions, such as France and Australia, where we already have some invoices coming from. Finally, we have the unique number of products per customer. This shows us how our customers shop, whether they are purchasing the same product over and over, or one time, such as here on the left, or whether they choose to branch out and buy many different products at once from our store. By creating these visualizations, we get a better understanding of how our data is presented and what our customer base looks like. This is important because in the next step, in the data preparation step, we will take these findings and build upon them and codify them in our data, which will then improve our modeling results. Thank you for listening.